Hey everybody, real quick, I just wanted to take a second to apologize about the audio in the first part of the video. I'm testing out some new microphones right now, and as you can tell, they are very sensitive. So I would go back and fix all of it. I tried turning it down as much as I could just to make it more bearable. I would try to go back and just redo the video, but by the time I had gotten all the recording done, I had this thing halfway taken apart, and there was just nothing that I could do from that point. So again, sorry about that. Definitely going to test more of those microphones out and see if we can kind of get those more dialed in for the future. But for now, let's get to the live action. Let's get this thing finished up. The hell is this white stuff? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to part 2 of getting the JANUS Gryffin 250 rebuild, revamp kind of project done. In the last video, in case you missed it, we put on fresh tires. So we got a fresh tire in the front, fresh tire in the back, and we started kind of disassembling things. So we took the airbox cover off, we removed the exhaust, and kind of just did a bunch of other little odds and ends stuff. Off camera, between the videos, I went ahead and installed this headlight cage. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Got that for like 11, 12 bucks on Amazon. Pretty cool. And then I ordered these, I don't know, not folding mirrors, kind of. I'm not really sure if I like the way they look quite yet. It still just looks a little bulky for the bike. I might steal one of my mini ones off my Halcyon 450. And then just use one of the little adapters on it. So, yeah, that's kind of what we did in the last video. As well as, I guess I threw the skid plate on too. Made this in like 2 hours. Quite actually pleased with the way that turned out. A skid plate from JANUS was $400. And I just could not swallow that. So I decided to just whip something up out of some of the steel I had on one of my shelf over there. Of all the shelf of junk I got. But this is what I'm really excited about. I wanted to show you guys what we're going to be installing in today's part 2 of the revamp. We got the Moto Cult Breathe Easy kit here. Filter oil and filter not included. It is a throttle cable, a carburetor, and a stainless exhaust system. I went ahead and ordered up an uni filter for it, and of course the oil for the uni filter. And obviously, Moto Cult are the wonderful people who build, fabricate, and design all of these awesome performance aftermarket goodies for our JANUS motorcycles. So today's goal is going to be to get all of this stuff installed. I probably won't go too crazy on the whole carburetor business unless I start having some trouble, then I'll let you guys know. Just because there is a video on Moto Cult's YouTube channel of them installing a Nibby carburetor on a 250 model JANUS. So I won't go too crazy with the install, that kind of breeze over that. But what I really want to showcase is just the exhaust and getting everything put on and just hopefully get this bike looking just absolutely bad to the bone. So pretty fired up about getting this thing all squared away just in time to bust out the heater. As you guys saw, there's snow outside, and they're calling for 4 to 6 inches of snow starting tomorrow night. So great timing. But anyway, let's get this stuff installed and get this bike finished up and ready to go into storage. Oh my God, storage. It sucks. Okay, so you join me here at my very overcrowded secondary workbench. Got some gloves on, and we are going to get started by oiling our filter. So this is, like I said earlier, a uni, whatever you want to call it, two-stage filter. This is the 45-degree angle kind for any other JANUS owners who are curious. I think I got this thing for around 17 bucks on Amazon, and I've never done this before, so I'm probably going to do this wrong, and y'all can roast me in the comments. I don't mind. Please don't. I'm sensitive. Just kidding. All right, let's do this. So I'm just going to shoot. Basically what I saw online was people were folding these inside out and then kind of oiling them and so on, and then folding them back in, and then I'm going to have to do this on my other bike too, because I put a uni filter on it and I did not oil it. And then what I've always just seen people do is just kind of massage the oil in. Again, don't know if this is right, but I would imagine it should be fine. Imagine you're kind of squishing that filter media and sort of working that oil in. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. And then I think as for like the inside part, I'll probably just take what's remaining on my gloves and just kind of rub it on there. And then I'll kind of hold it by the rubber part. And so I don't plan on off-roading the crap out of this bike, but I will see some trails from time to time. So better to have the oil that is required for these filters to work than nothing at all. And I've seen people soak these down pretty good. But I don't know, maybe I'll just throw a little extra on there for good measure and just massage it in. So that's pretty much it though. I think we can call that pretty much good. So now I'm going to go ahead and slide this on again. I think it went like that. And it'd be really cool to have that logo sticking out. Like so. This stuff smells a lot like transmission fluid, like friction modifier, kind of. It's one of those smells where it's like, you kind of like it, but you kind of don't. Like, I don't know if you're the type of person like me where you just sometimes you just smell stuff because it's like, brings back memories. I don't know. Or maybe it's one of those things that you just don't talk about. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. I'm going to leave this glove on because I got to install it. Okay, going to go ahead and throw this in the bike. Yeah, that's right. That's what I wanted. I wanted that angle kind of down like that. So, a little bit of a tight fit, but luckily the filter kind of collapses down and then it kind of just sits right in there all happy. And then the back of that filter just kind of rests against the wall. And that's pretty much it. Grab a screwdriver quick. Okay, got my screwdriver. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Today's Thanksgiving in the garage. Just got done stuffing myself. Sun's starting to go down outside. And figured I'd pop in here for a little bit and get some stuff done on the old JANUS. Oh, for those wondering too, this is the 4-inch filter from Amazon. It's the 4-inch filter. I think it's a 4x4-inch filter with a 1.5 neck or inner diameter opening, and it's at a 45-degree angle. And this thing fits dang near perfect. Oil it up real good, stick it in there, and that should honestly do the trick. Looks kind of cool in there, but you won't even notice it here. Better than this thing. It's pretty dirty and dusty anyway, so kind of glad that we're getting this all swapped out. All right, moving on. Whoops, almost forgot my cover. I try to be really careful with these covers because I can't imagine it's too cheap to get this replaced if you accidentally drop it and chip it. So it's not a plastic cover like you get on other bikes. This thing is actual steel. All right, I am dying to get this exhaust installed. So let's go ahead and work on that next. Okay, so I got that part kind of loosely on there. Now we're going to go ahead and attach the silencer and get this all kind of lined up. Oh, wow. That is going to look so neat. Very excited for that. All right, now I just got to locate the bolt for it. Oh, wow. Guys, how does that look? Oh, so cool. Totally transforms the look of the bike. Really cleans up, streamlines it, and reduces the heat shield situation a little bit compared to the old one. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully the smaller heat shield isn't exactly a problem. But I'm going to get this part finished, bolted up really quick, and then we'll switch to, I think we'll maybe do the taillight next. Okay, so that actually went pretty good. Everything bolted up very nicely and bolted right up to the bike. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is look at how close this exhaust sits to this frame rail. I mean, you can see a slight gap behind it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a little worried about that part of it. Because in the picture on the kit on MotoCult's website, I saw that it came with like an exhaust gasket, like a little copper ring, but it wasn't in the package anywhere. So I don't know if it wasn't included or what, but I just went ahead and installed it the way it was because the old exhaust didn't have a gasket or ring or anything on it either. So I'm assuming it's fine. But man, look at that. Look how much airflow we're going to get out of that. This thing is going to sound absolutely beautiful. Really looking forward to it. That should be fine. Besides, too, with the new carburetor, we're going to be actually running richer because they're leaned out from the factory for EPA emissions. So the pipe should run a little bit cooler than stock. So we'll probably still get some discoloration out of the header pipe here, but it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as the one up there. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the taillight next. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another episode of I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I'm just kidding. We're going to get the taillight setup situation going on here. We're going to get that figured out now. I'm going to get this kind of cleaned up really quick. It's clean. All right, now we're going to get the taillight that I ordered out, and this is kind of what I was telling you guys about in last video, what I ordered. I wanted something that was bright, low profile, and similar in holes. That's the point that I was trying to get at. Similar in hole size to what we got going on here. It's looking like I'm going to have to drill some new holes, but that's totally okay, because as long as I can get the new nuts right here up inside here and installed, that should be okay. It's going to get a little tricky because that is a really tight fit up there, and I already had kind of a hard time getting the old ones out, but yeah, that's okay. We're just going to get some stuff out of the way here. And I think I'm going to mark some stuff out and do a center punch and drill some holes and get this mounted up. Okay, so I went ahead and made some kind of poor man's holes here. I got one here, and I got one on this side. All I did was just take the wiring of the tail light, and I just ran it through the hole here, and then all I did was just use the bolts to scratch little lines in there. So at least I know the width now, and yeah, so we should be able to go ahead and punch those out and drill them. It don't take much. Oh yeah, center punching worked great. You can tell by the way that the drill bit walks. Holy crap, that is horrendous. That's okay. Take your time now. Holy buckets, I'm going to have to redo this part. Be right back. Okay, now that we beat the devil out of it Bob Ross style, let's go ahead and try this again. I'm not sure if this is the right drill bit size. I just grabbed it. This hurts me more than it hurts you. I'm waiting for this bit to snap and then have the shrapnel go into my hand and go into the bone. Perfect. Now I got two holes. Okay, see if that hole fits. Oh, mint. Perfect. Not too bad. There's a gasket that's supposed to go right here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that just to help keep some kind of dirt out of there. All right, this gasket's not going to line up with the new holes, but it'll at least sit on the inside part of it, which will still help with cushioning. And I don't know. It just makes me feel better that it's in there, okay? That's all that matters. Got that upside down. It does matter because this tail light does have built-in turn signals that you can wire up. I probably won't be wiring up the turn signal function of this tail light, but I don't know. It'll just make me feel better knowing that it's correct. Hopefully that's straight. Now I gotta fish these nuts down inside there and snug those up. Okay, after 12 hours, 37 minutes, and 14 seconds, I finally got this snugged up in there. So if you look inside there, you could see that there is not a ton of room to play with in there. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. But look at that. That looks freaking neat, doesn't it? Oh, wait, hold on. ASMR, you ready? Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Hopefully this doesn't look dumb. I don't think it will. But look at that. It looks so clean. Dang. I like that. Well, I got to get it wired up now, and then we'll get it installed, and we'll check it out. All right, first order of business, I got to figure out which one is ground. I'm going to assume that it's this connection here. You have a total of 4 connections total. You have this connector here, which is the taillight. And you have these 2 standalone plugs, which are your individual turn signal wires. And then you have your, I believe this is going to be our ground. So what I'm going to do is I just got a basic test light here. And I'm just going to hook this up inside of here, if I can. Oh, Malanta. Get on up out of there now. Okay, I'm just going to stick that inside there, and then I'm just going to go over to the battery since it's so close. And then I'm basically just going to touch to the positive lead and just see if I get a connection. And I do. So that is going to be our ground. And so I just need to know that for obviously wiring up the taillight. What I was almost thinking about doing was using the existing connector off of the old taillight. So I have the old taillight sitting down here with the female end, and I'm not going to reuse this anyways because I would need to get a lens for it, and being that this is kind of a cheaper part, in the future I would likely just end up ordering a whole different one anyway if I ever end up getting another one. So I might just cut some of this tape and sheathing back and reuse a bunch of this connector, and I think that's where the route will go. So then that way the new taillight is just a plug and play. So let's do that. Perfect. Here's our new pigtail to work with. Okay, so I think I'm going to temporarily hook this up. And what I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to wire the pigtail that I had just kind of modified here from the original headlight. I'm going to wire it to the new headlight, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike on and make sure that the tail light works, make sure that the brake light signal works, all that kind of stuff. And then once I've established that, I'm actually going to solder these connections and heat shrink them. So, because that's the best way to get that stuff to last. So I just went and checked the wiring diagram on the Amazon listing for what wires do what on the new taillight. And I believe I got that all sorted out in accordance to what JANUS had in the bike. So I just temporarily wire nutted it together. And now we can use our factory pigtail connection that will plug right into the bike as it's intended. All right, so we got it plugged in here, and let's see what it looks like. Turn this back on really quick here, if I can. Here's it at. All right, that's on, and oh, wow, look at that. Isn't that neat? So it'll actually flash when you turn the bike on, like sequentially. Let me hit the brake once. Oh, that's so sick. So it does that, and then when you let go, it gets a little bit dimmer. So that is freaking sweet. How cool does that look? That in combination with this freaking cage. Oh, man. This has got to be one of the best looking freaking... I'm just going to be scared to get it dirty. What am I doing? Loving that. Let's get these soldered up properly, heat shrunk, and then we will go ahead and bolt the assembly back on. All right, I'm warmed up. So I just got done soldering this up, and I kind of made a nice little wiring harness out of it, tucked away the extra wiring, zip tied it back into little bundles. And so as you can see, we got the factory connector all heat shrunk and soldered up onto it. So I got some nice soldered up wires. And then I decided to actually use these turn signal wires after all, because I temporarily wired it up and I tested it out, and I like the way that they light up along with the side ones, the factory ones. So I put in these little jumper cubes right here that basically they just sort of make an internal slit in the wire. And that's kind of what I did with that. So hopefully that's a little bit better to see. So we did that with both of the turn signals. And so now we're going to plug everything in, and they're going to double check and make sure that it all works. And then we're going to install it on the bike permanently. All right. So I'm just going to kind of hang everything off to the side, set it up on the rack, and then we'll just plug it in like how we would as if we were installing it. So green is ground for each turn signal. Goes in as its own little ground. Plugs right in. And then, oh buggers, I don't remember which one is right and which one's left. I'll just take a guess out of the blue here, and then we will try it on the bars, and if it's opposite, we'll just change the wires. So that's an easy solution for that. Okay, now I'm going to plug in my taillight harness. Hopefully I wired this up right. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay. First try. Nice. Perfect. But you can see my this is supposed to be lighting up orange too, so one of my wire taps must not be crimped down all the way. Let's try the right side. Whoops. What's going on here? Something's not happy about something. Let me take a look here. Okay, so I found the problem. Basically what's happening is these are the wire taps that I used, and the metal part inside here was not penetrating this, the sheathing of this wire good enough. So I stripped it back, and then I just touched it into here, turned the bike on, and then hit the button, and then it worked fine. So that's definitely was the issue there. So what I did was I went into my drawer and I found these instead. These are have a smaller slit. If you look at the metal part, they got a smaller slit than these ones do. These ones kind of have a larger slit. See that metal part in there? So we're going to go ahead and give these a shot and see if that solves our issue. It should. All right, just went ahead and replaced that. Let's give it a shot. So, turn signal on the right. Ah, there it is. Pops up on the tail light, and it pops up on there. Nice. I don't know, figured it's there. A little extra lighting never hurt anybody. All right, I'm going to fix the other side really quick, and then we're going to move on to the carburetor. Just like that, she is installed. God, that thing looks so freaking good. That was exactly what I was trying to go for with this bike. I was trying to go for something subtle, something small, something low profile, and I like it too when you hit the tail light. Love that. Super cool. Love how that lights up like that, and then you can hit the turn signal, and then you can see that both of them light up. So just that little extra something goes a long way. So that was wiring tap was the issue, but we got that fixed. So awesome. Very, very, very pleased with how that turned out. God, I love the look of that. So clean. And then I bent this up too just a little bit because I'm actually thinking about developing a small mud flap for the back of this, kind of like the front one here that I did. So yeah, maybe we'll see what we come up with. But now I think it's time we move on to the carburetor. But before we do that, you know, it's one of those deals where it's like, God, a guy installs an exhaust that looks like that. Regardless of how it's tuned, I gotta see how it sounds. Let's fire this thing up really quick. Holy buckets! Sounds incredible! Yes! Speed and power. Thanks to these gents, wonderful people at Moto Cult. Thank you so much for the exhaust. Looks awesome. Super excited to get this thing tuned in and ready to rip. So yeah, let's jump into this carburetor now so we can get this thing on the road. I'm just kidding. It's going into storage. What am I talking about? But you get the idea. And jump into the carb we will in the next video. I know. I hate doing multiple part videos just because I don't like dragging stuff out. All right? I don't like doing that kind of stuff. It's a little bit of a teaser. I understand. Don't like doing that kind of stuff, but I want to get as much information as possible out there about these JANUS motorcycles. They're really special to me. They hold a special place in my heart a little bit. And anybody who buys one, it's so nice to have as much information as possible out there about them. Especially considering that when I first bought them, or I first bought my Gryffin, I didn't really know anything about it, didn't know anybody who did, you know, kind of had to join a forum, and the rest is history. I learned more about my bike going to the owner's rally than anything. So next video, that is what we will be handling next, is that carburetor install. There's that, and then there's a couple other little things that I want to do to the bike, and that will be in our last video. So I expect our Part 3 to drop very soon. Probably the first week of January, we will get that dropped out. Wrap this project up. We'll put the Gryffin back into storage and get it ready for next year. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by, taking a look at this build series so far. It's been really enjoyable to put it all together. Hopefully I can kind of trim the fat a little bit more on some of these garage videos a little bit as we go along. But that's okay. So please consider subscribing if you want to check out some more of this kind of stuff, or, you know, maybe learning about what this thing's about in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. And, of course, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy New Year. Hands are disgusting. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.